I'm Alison Donley for Cecil TV. This afternoon, we have Erica Berge of the Port Deposit-based nonprofit Community Connecting Us. She's here to talk about what her organization has been up to. But first, Erica, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's been so long. It's been since January 2020 when we had you in the studio, so long ago.
So yes, a lot has changed since then.
Yeah. So it's really great to see your face. Remind us what Community Connecting Us is all about.
So we are a nonprofit community center that is based off of an asset-based community development model. So what this means in kind of layman's terms is that we believe that instead of focusing on negatives and deficits that exist within our community, we instead focus on the resources of our neighbors and organizations, and we provide a space for them to share them with our neighbors.
So I know a central goal, as you said, is building relationships and using the strengths that are already present in the community. What are you hoping to build in Cecil County or Port Deposit?
I would like to see a healthy community. I think that especially post-COVID, or I guess we're still kind of in COVID, but hopefully seeing the latter end of that, that we can see some healthy communities developing. There's been a lot that has transpired over these past 2 years that have left us with, I think, a real sense to belong to one another again. The four things that we believe that you need to be a healthy individual are education, creativity, wellness, and community. And so we believe that if you're able to focus on those four things in your life, if we're able to provide a space for those four things to happen for folks, then we'll not only see a growth within individuals and within families, but then we'll begin to see it throughout our whole community.
What challenges have you faced in the past 20 or so months? I mean, has like you said, people are certainly. I think you were saying that people are craving community again, right?
It's kind of a catch-22, because as much as I believe that people have this desire to be with one another again, to have this belonging with one another, one of our most difficult things is really to get people to show back up. Our numbers pre-COVID versus post-COVID are looking a lot different. And so I think part of that is that there's a fear of just being around others and the transmission of the virus, which I completely get. I think that there's also a part of some freedom there, and finally being like, I don't necessarily have to do what I don't want to do anymore. And there's something with that. But I also think that there's this element of, how do I engage again? How can I be around people? What does that look like? It's been so long, and just trying to find what this new normal is within the age of COVID.
Absolutely, I think. I feel that in my own life, just like, as much as I want to get back out there and see friends, it's also, I think I've also become really comfortable in an introverted sort of way, just hanging out at home. So I can imagine that even if it might benefit a person to get back out to a community, whatever kind of class it might be, or community group, that it would be hard to get used to that again. And even though it's highly beneficial.
Yeah, and I think that there has been a type of healing that has kind of come from this type of stepping back and kind of like this introvertedness, like you said, of being able to reflect and kind of figure out what we like, what we don't like. But then it's that big step again into being vulnerable, which is always difficult. Mm-hmm. And so we've had this kind of time of trying to figure out who we are, I think a lot of people, and now to step back into the public eye and be like, okay, this is who I am now. Do you still accept this? Is it okay for me to try this? Is it okay for me to do this? And so, we have a very inclusive atmosphere here. We have the saying that all people are welcome, not all behaviors are welcome. And so, meaning that we are not going to tolerate anyone hurting another person, however that might look, but we want everyone to be here. We want there to be a kind of a place for people to connect on those 4 levels again in a positive and healthy way.
So tell us about what you guys have been up to lately. I know we were just talking about recent collaboration with the public library, but what else has been going on?
So yes, we have part of the library collection behind me here, and we've been partnering with them for some different programs that we've started, one of which is the Port Deposit Bike Project. That's where folks can bring their bicycles to get them fixed or their tires aired up. Learn how to fix things on their bike. And also we have been given a generous donation of bicycles, which we are kind of hoping that people will come and work alongside. We've also partnered with the Newark Bike Project for this endeavor. And so Newark Bike Project comes, and so they have their volunteers, we have community volunteers, so that individuals would work alongside of those individuals and fix the bikes that we have. And then once they have fixed the bike to a rideable standard, then they take that home and it's theirs free to keep. And so we have a lot of fun. We do it every month, the 3rd Saturday of every month, and we serve lunch from the local pizza parlor. And it's just a really fun time of just hanging out and talking and riding bikes around the parking lot. We even had one little neighbor come and learn how to ride his bike for the first time. So that was really exciting. That was really cute. And it was a neighbor that taught him, like someone that was also here trying to get their bike fixed. So it's just one of those things that I'm beginning to see a relationship, and it's really great. We're also partnering with the library and the town of Port Deposit to offer a microloan program. And we're really excited about this. We're kind of in beta testing right now. We have raised $15,000 for a microloan project, which we're hoping will build business within Port Deposit. People that can apply for it are from Conowingo, Calora, or Port Deposit, or anywhere if they're opening the business within Port Deposit. And so we're offering loans to people who might not typically qualify for traditional lending. And we believe we've come up with a formula for success for those individuals. And we're hoping that we can kind of run this through. And then when we're done, we're just going to hand that binder over to another community or another organization or a church and say, look, you can do this for your neighbors too. And see some entrepreneurial growth.
And I noticed on your website, there are some other, I think actually it may have been the public library website, that you are hosting certain I think it was like a coding event, or this was maybe months ago.
Yeah, they've done some STEM events. I think maybe the coding event is coming in Christmas. But yeah, the library, they come and they do library programming for school-age children once a month, and they do a story time for 0 to 5 once a month. And so we have them coming. We have the health department coming to offer mom-to-be classes. We've partnered with them for a few different things to try and back to school immunizations for children, and just trying to, again, Port Deposit has an issue with many of our neighbors don't have transportation. So again, we have offered, invite these organizations and groups to come in so that, neighbors can still access these really great programs from other organizations and be able to use it right in their backyard.
So where are you looking for people to get involved?
Well, I would like to see some more activities going on. One of the things that I said was, not only is it that we're trying to find the talents and passions of these organizations that are already doing things well. And I feel like we've made some wonderful partnerships with that. But I would love to see some of our neighbors that have talents and passions that they want to share with their neighbors to come and do that. Pre-COVID, we had a monthly crafting class, and then we even had some in the evenings, and our neighbors loved them. They probably were our biggest responses to events that we had before COVID. And we're not, I haven't been able to do that myself. So I would love for someone to kind of step in that gap for me and run those programs. And one of the things that we also do is everything we believe should be accessible to anyone, no matter where they fall on the socioeconomic scale. Because that's where common ground is met. Again, in those 4 categories, right? It doesn't matter where you are. People want to learn new things. They want to explore their creativity. They want to be well. They want to connect. And so we do everything as pay what you want. And it just, I feel like it really just opens doors for people. We do that with our yoga class. We have a neighbor that does our yoga class for us twice a week. And, she accepts, barter. She accepted like fresh fruits from the garden, fresh vegetables from the garden this summer, and eggs and house plants, and some cash as well. But she came and was able to share what she loves, and our neighbors have really benefited from it. Yeah.
So if someone, say, listening is interested in hosting a class or attending a class, how should they get in touch with you?
They could email me at info@communityconnecting.us. They could check out our Instagram or Facebook. I honestly do better at updating those than our personal website, so my apologies for that. But or they could even call the center at 443-731-6080.
Well, great.
Yes, and I will also tell you, Alison, this will be a bit of an exclusive for you guys there. Community Connecting Us was recently gifted the buildings that we inhabit here, the Nesbitt Home, the parsonage next door, as well as the historic Tome Church. So we are super excited about that. The Pendel Conference came this week to hand that over to us, and we are so grateful that they believe in what we're trying to do here in the community, that it's just really an honor. And so as we move forward with that, we will also need a lot of help with restoring these buildings and preserving these buildings. So if anyone has that up their sleeve and their skill set, we would love to talk with you as well, because we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're excited about it. We're excited to see the community rise to the occasion and see new friendships built. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Erica Berge is from Community Connecting Us, the Port Deposit-based nonprofit. Thank you so much.